Arsenal have sent a statement after smashing 5 past Man City in what was a humbling experience. Things are getting interesting at the Emirates Stadium. So from Mikel Arteta's brand new game changers, to the battle between Gabriel and Erling Haaland, a midfield masterclass from Partey and Rice, and all of the latest breaking transfer news. As per, let's break it all down and discuss the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 5, Man City 1. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Baz14. Welcome back to your boys channel. And wow, that was a humbling performance. It was 5 goals at the Emirates Stadium. We've got so much to break down, on top of some very important transfer news. If there ever was a time to do it, smash a like if you enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you are new. But starting off with the midfield masterclass. In a game that Arsenal went into it with vengeance on mind, having drawn 2-2 at the Etihad Stadium in a game with 10 men, where City were able to snatch a point right at the end. In this game, it took Arsenal only 1 minute and 43 seconds as the captain Martin Odegaard scored his first open play goal of the season. Fantastic pressing for Arsenal, great from Trossard and Declan Rice. Then the awareness of Havertz to find Odegaard, who himself dropped a 7.3 rating with 1 goal scored, 27 accurate passes, 2 accurate long balls. It was not a vintage performance on the ball, but we have to appreciate his off the ball work rate, constantly getting Arsenal up the pitch to go and press, getting stuck into the City players and setting a tempo. But let's not act like the first half was perfect. Even after the fast start, the game slowed down, becoming more a game of chess at a very slow pace. It was almost as if both teams were too scared to attack, out of fear they may lose the ball and concede a goal. From a viewer's perspective, it definitely wasn't entertaining, with Arsenal asking for trouble, defending deeper and deeper, giving City more and more of the ball. As Thierry Henry said before the game, before it used to be all offensive and suddenly became a bit more, let's not concede and we can always score, to now a team that's very good in set pieces, but it's not the same way. Often referred to the game against Man City in April 2023, a game that Arsenal lost 4-1 in a title deciding clash, when Mikel Arteta's Arsenal was blown about by Kevin De Bruyne. In the following summer, the arrivals of Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, 2 players that made Arsenal a lot more sturdy, but not quite seen as fluid as we once used to be. The game itself was a battle for control, as perfectly shown by the field tilt, both teams going back and forwards, City with 57% and Arsenal with 42%. The overall stats were very even, City having slightly higher possession and more final third entries, but Arsenal having the slightly higher expected threat created. It was becoming a game of fine margins, and that suited City, with more experience in their team and players that are more technical. When you've got Bernardo Silva and Kovacic as your central midfield, players that are older but have the ability to control games, the slower the game, the more it suited them. But that's where enter Thomas Partey, striking back straight after the City goal with a goal from outside the box. Yes, it may have been deflected, but what it did was change how Arsenal were playing, focusing more on energy and running power, playing to the strengths of Declan Rice and Thomas Partey, exposing Kovacic and Bernardo Silva. As Partey said after the game, happy Sunday Arsenal, making his 150th appearance against a team that he'd appeared in his 150th and first. He dropped a fantastic 7.9 rating with 1 very important goal, 88% of passes completed, 1 chance created, 5 of 6 ground balls won, as well as 2 interceptions and 4 tackles, pouncing on a loose pass from Phil Foden, then showing courage to shoot from outside the box. As soon as Arsenal upped the intensity, City could not compete. The likes of Lewis, Skelly, Partey and Rice growing into their own. In terms of Partey himself, I think he was outstanding. The amount of times playing over pressure, dribbling past City players, with that fantastic pass to Gabriel Martinelli for the 4th Arsenal goal. You then had the man of the match in Declan Rice, saying after the game, today is one of the best days since I've been at Arsenal. Likewise, one of his best performances with an 8.4 rating. 2 assists, 5 key passes, 1 big chance created. Playing once again as a number 8 and thriving. That is now 5 assists for Declan Rice this season, and a whopping 14 big chances created. Forget about set pieces, today was all about open play. And for an Arsenal team that has now 17 games unbeaten against the Big Six, 10 wins, 7 draws and 0 losses, it's no surprise that record has come since the arrival of Declan Rice, a big game player that is one of the most elite pressers in world football. Think about his part of the first goal, the way he found Havertz straight away, the way that he pounced on Kovacic for what should have been 2-0. With the idea of Mikel Arteta making one of the best pressing sides in all of Europe, when you've got an £105 million ball-winning machine who's got an innate ability to fly whenever he wants, today it was really and truly the game changer. Moving on to the second thing, Haaland's humbler. With all the history going into this game, Erling Haaland versus Gabriel Magalhaes from the game back at the Etihad, in a game where Haaland threw the ball at Gabriel when it was made 2-2, Mr. Magalhaes had some strong words after the game. We'll wait for City at our ground. Haaland, I don't remember what he did, but it's normal. Anyways, congratulations. In battle and war, provocation is normal. It's also part of the game. It's now over. Fighting words from a player that was talking the talk, and in this game he definitely walked the walk, dropping a 7.0 rating with 5 clearances and 2 out of 2 ground balls. 93% of his passes completed. In the first half, him and Saliba bullied Haaland, who made only 6 touches in total, all leading to nothing. Seen straight after the first Arsenal goal running towards Haaland and laughing straight at his face. For me, this is what rivalries are all about. Having seen Liverpool and City go head to head over the past few years, but all their players be friends and happy together. Arsenal and City is more of a throwback to the old days of United versus Arsenal, where the players not only hate each other, but they're not afraid to show it either. For me, if anyone finds it offensive, then football has gone way too soft, because there is no more satisfying feeling than scoring against your rival and celebrating. As Jose Mourinho would say, it's football heritage. But in terms of defence itself, you also have to praise the Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya, with another solid performance and a 6.9 rating alongside 3 important saves, 2 of them being inside the box. Think about how crucial they were. With Arsenal up 1-0 in the first half, a sublime corner from Omar Mamouche, Raya's reaction time was crazy. In a game that he was also influential on the ball, always trying to bait the City press. What we are seeing now is one of the most complete goalkeepers in the Premier League, who at 29 years of age is now only entering his peak. And what I sense the most is a level of self-belief. Having come through the ranks at Brentford and waited so long, then finally got a move to a top club, he is now taking it with both hands, quite literally. But I also want to praise Jurrien Timber at right back, dropping a 6.5 rating with 3 clearances and 1 interception. He has now started 21 of Arsenal's 24 league games this season, one of our most consistent performers regardless of where he plays. We have to appreciate how insane that is. Having just come off an ACL injury, we have not seen his level drop a single bit, to the point where even when Ben White's about to return, most Arsenal fans haven't been talking about him. The fact that he is still 23 years of age to me is insane. Having only cost Arsenal £35 million, the more that I see him play, the more that I see the character, the more and more I think we've got an absolute bargain. Moving on to the third thing though, Mikel Arteta's game changers. In a game that had so many star performances, so many potential man of the matches, in my eyes, the moment of the match fell to Myles Skelly. Having made his Premier League debut back in the game of the Etihad, well, Haaland asked Skelly, "Who are you?" And let's just say Skelly took that personally, dropping a 7.5 rating and scoring his first ever Arsenal goal, with 2 clearances and 2 tackles, 6 of 7 ground balls won, 92% of passes completed. It was another example of a machine at left back, a level of arrogance of him knowing he's that guy, confidence to pick the ball up in dangerous areas and still drive forwards. At one point he was even bodying Erling Haaland, with the courage to go forwards and score the 3rd Arsenal goal, which impressively was on his weaker foot too. Then came the controversy of the celebration, going straight over to the Arsenal fans and dropping the Erling Haaland celebration, a perfect reply to Haaland's comments earlier in the season. If you didn't know who Skelly was, now you certainly do. In a celebration that produced some iconic images. Look at Gabriel's face here, and look at the Arsenal team admiring their talents, giving the star boy the limelight he deserves. As the Arsenal GOAT Thierry Henry said after the game, "I just love him, really. He's one of our own and I like the goal, but I enjoy the celebration even more." And Thierry is absolutely right. A player that came through the academy from such a young age, alongside his best friend in Ethan Nwaneri, who are now both a firm part of a first team, held and has produced another Amazon Prime delivery, for a profile that seems perfect for the modern day inverted fullback. Pace, power, technical ability, as strong as an ox in his defensive dueling. He is drawing comparisons to former Arsenal player Ashley Cole, another product from Hill End. They're wanting to become one of the best left backs ever. Yes, he might be a midfielder by trade, but when you think about how Mikel Arteta uses his left backs, that's what Myles is doing anyways. Allowed to burst forwards, arrive into the box, uses ball carrying ability to get Arsenal up the pitch, in a Moussa Dembele type fashion. Surely a England caller from Thomas Tuchel is around the corner. But in the game itself, Myles wasn't the only star boy shining. With 10 minutes left to go, Mikel Arteta threw an Ethan Nwaneri, who went on to produce a 7.6 rating with 1 goal scored, 4 of 4 passes, 2 of 2 dribbles, in what was an electric cameo off the bench. The goal itself was trademark Nwaneri, and the fact that at 17 we can even say that is simply crazy. Cutting inside with confidence with a sense of inevitability. The moment he took the shot, I knew it was going in. Nwaneri now has 7 goals this season, going joint second for Arsenal with Cesc Fabregas for most goals and assists before turning 18. Only 2 players under the age of 18 have now scored 2 or more goals for a side in Europe's top 5 leagues this season. Ethan Nwaneri and Lamine Yamal, with Ethan playing less than half of Yamal's minutes. There's a reason why Arsenal fans are so excited. While Myles is almost a perfect profile, a manager's dream in terms of power and technicality, Ethan is a maverick. A player able to produce special moments to get you off your seats, showing time and time again how lethal he is from outside the box. And how great is it to see 2 young players come through together and score in the exact same match. It just goes to show that Mikel Arteta does trust his young players, but only when they have the ability to actually affect games. In the midst of a transfer window where Arsenal fans are demanding new signings, Mikel Arteta has been given to by Hill End. Profiles that, if you look at the current market, would cost upwards of £200 million. That's why they're game changers for Arsenal. Not only offering Mikel quality players, but profiles that he doesn't even have in the squad. And now, according to Fabrizio Romano, new contracts for Ethan Nwaneri and Myles Skelly will be a part of the process at Arsenal after the end of the transfer window. Talks are already underway. Moving on to the fourth thing, the underrated wingers. In a game where Mikel Arteta went for Gabriel Martinelli over Ethan Nwaneri, there was a lot of unhappy fans before the game, including your boy. But in terms of Gabby, let's just say he stepped up with a 7.1 rating. One important assist for Havertz and 2 key passes, as well as being a major threat through the entire game. In a game that Mikel knew was going to be all about the checks. How are you off the ball and can you press the City players? It now makes sense to why he went for Gabriel Martinelli, one of the most hard-working Arsenal players off the ball, as well as the pace to hurt teams in behind. The prime example being the third Arsenal goal. The way he burst in behind and hurt City in transition, with a fantastic pass to find Kai Havertz. I also want to give a shout out to Leandro Trossard. No goal and no assist, but causing chaos on the left-hand side and getting Arsenal up the pitch. With no Bukayo Saka, there's been a lot of pressure on the other Arsenal attackers, and they may not be the same player, but what I see week in, week out is effort. Players that are giving their all and working for the team. And the prime example of that is Kai Havertz. A player that missed an absolute sitter. A chance worth an XG of 0.77. Then came the narrative that Havertz didn't have confidence, only for him to drop an 8.2 rating. With 1 goal and 1 assist, as well as 96% of his passes completed. As fans, we have to understand Havertz is a player that will always miss chances. But the reason why he gets into the team is because of what he generates. In this game being the highest Arsenal player, in terms of goal probability added. It's not to excuse the sitter, but it's to understand the profile. A player that now has 20 goals and assists this season in 33 appearances, as well as being the hardest working Arsenal player that's covered our most distance. Regardless of how you rate the player, the numbers are still promising, with an XG of 9.43 this season, ranking him in the top 10 in the Premier League. The issue is not Havertz, it's what Arsenal don't have on top of him. A more ruthless finisher instead, to offer Arsenal a different profile. But having seen his impact in a game like this, how important he was out of possession as well, able to drop into midfield and block passing lanes, I guarantee that even when Arsenal do sign a striker, Havertz will remain an important part of this Arsenal first team. Moving on to the fifth thing, the knockout punch. In a game where Arsenal dropped 5 on the head tops of the 4-time champions, it's the first time ever a Pep side has conceded 5 goals and also lost by a margin of 4. Seen at full time with a depressed face, with a scoreline heavily in Arsenal's favour, that is all without our best attacker in Bukayo Saka. Seen at the game itself on the sidelines, celebrating Ethan Nwaneri's goal looking so happy, during the game itself in the box and all smiles. For Arsenal, in spite of so much criticism, we are actually now on a 14-game Premier League unbeaten run, the longest in Mikel Arteta's reign, having now gone 5 games unbeaten against Man City, the joint longest run by a manager against Pep since Thomas Tuchel and Jurgen Klopp, against a team that causes so much pain in the last 2 years. They are now 9 points behind Arsenal, sat all the way down in 4th, more importantly 15 points behind first place Liverpool, all but ending their title race ambitions. It was indeed a statement performance. So many Arsenal fans happy after the game. Olays around the Emirates Stadium. But to most Arsenal fans, it is also a reminder, as well as this Arsenal team might be doing right now, still 6 points off first place Liverpool. With no Gabriel Jesus and no Bukayo Saka, a forward is still needed. As Mikel Arteta says himself, deals for strikers are historically tough, but he's confident that people at the club will try to do everything to achieve a deal. The outcome may not be known yet, but the intention is very clear. With transfer deadline day around the corner, Arsenal are still on the market for a forward, as more reports confirm that Arsenal may be about to make a move. One of our main talkers, of course, has been Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins. And how funny was it having been linked to Arsenal for the first time? Never injured his entire career, he gets subbed off at half-time for Aston Villa, with a potential groin injury. But in terms of Arsenal themselves, according to Miguel Delaney, we are considering another move for Watkins. Having first approached Villa on Monday, the inquiry left Arsenal with the understanding the player may be available for a certain price. Arsenal spoke to Villa of whether a deal around £40 million will be possible, but £60 million is a more likely figure to get the deal done. Villa are known to be close to the PSR limits, which is why their business elsewhere has encouraged Arsenal to go in for Watkins. The PSR could be the most important thing, having just announced the arrival of Marcus Rashford, on a loan with the option to buy for £40 million, as Fabrizio confirms it will also cover 70% of his salary, alongside the arrivals of Marco Asensio and Donyell Marlin, both again on massive wages. Villa have taken on board nearly 500k weekly wages in the space of 3 transfers. They may have sold John Duran, but rumours remain of potential PSR issues, but also in terms of Watkins himself, having just turned 29 years of age, a boyhood Arsenal fan that has always made it clear his dream is to play for the club. For Arsenal, I see this as a move for only January, trying to get a forward for a win now season. Come the summer, they may have other targets, meaning this might be Watkins' only chance to play for Arsenal. The question is, can the player force a move? But what about Arsenal's other targets in Bayern Munich's Matthias Tel? A player that both Arsenal and Man United are both after. We then got some breaking news from Florian Plettenberg that Matthias Tel had decided to join Man United with immediate effect, with concrete negotiations underway between Bayern and Man United. A loan offer had been submitted, but soon after we got a twist. Plettenberg confirming negotiations between United and Bayern had completely collapsed, as no agreement could be reached. Despite the player's preference to join Man United, a move to the Red Devils will not happen at this stage. Arsenal are still in the race, among other options. The way I see it is Arsenal have not entered negotiations, and that is very telling. Intrigued by the player, but maybe not convinced that he's the main option. According to the reliable Ed Aarons, Arsenal have made initial contact with Mateus tells people and received encouragement that he would be open to joining the club, but Arsenal yet to agree any terms of a loan deal with Bayern, and whether it will contain an option to make the move permanent in the summer. With more reports confirming that Tel is still open to joining Arsenal, it also claims that our main target is Ollie Watkins. As Mikel Arteta said himself, the intention is clear, they're going to go for a forward, but the real question is, can they get a deal over the line? Because in terms of Mikel, his focus is purely on Wednesday, a massive game against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-final, 2-0 down after the first leg, but for a Newcastle side that have lost their last 2 league games at home, after Arsenal scored 5 against the 4-time champions. As Mikel Arteta says, that is the best preparation that we can have for Wednesday. But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 5, Man City 1. What a scoreline. And now my question goes to you guys. Do you want to see a transfer deadline day stream? Because if Arsenal do make a move, surely you have to talk about it. Until then, my guys, I will see you next time. Take care. Good night.